you develop the medicines that your country needs.
Rodrigo Duterte, the 16th president of the Philippines, relied on a close circle of aides and trusted individuals who played significant roles in his administration. These aides often included long-time associates from his time as mayor of Davao City, as well as key figures appointed to oversee critical functions during his presidency. Let's take a look at some of the most prominent aides who served under Duterte based on their roles and influence during his tenure as president. Top of the lot is Christopher Bong Go, Special Assistant to the President SAP and later Senator. Known as Duterte's closest confidant, Bong Go served as his personal aide for over 2 decades, starting in the 1990s during Duterte's tenure as Davao City Mayor. Appointed Special Assistant to the President in June 2016, he oversaw the presidential management staff, acting as a gatekeeper for Duterte's decisions and schedules. His influence extended beyond logistics. For example, Royina Garma's 2024 testimony implicated him as a key link in the drug wars reporting chain, connecting the PNP operatives to Duterte. Bong Go's loyalty earned him a Senate seat in 2019, where he continued championing Duterte's agenda, including healthcare initiatives like the Malasakit centers. As of 2025, with Duterte arrested by the ICC, Bong Go remains a vocal defender, though his own role in the drug war faces scrutiny. Next up is Salvador Medialdea, who was the executive secretary to Duterte. A childhood friend from Duterte's school days in Davao and Manila, Medialdea brought a legal mind and personal trust to the role of executive secretary, serving from June 2016 to June 2022. Dubbed the Little President, he managed the executive branch's daily operations, such as drafting orders and ensuring policy execution. His tenure saw pivotal moments like the 2017 martial law declaration in Mindanao during the Marawi siege, which he legally justified despite major criticism. A low-profile yet powerful figure, Medialdea's deep ties with Duterte rooted in shared history and his father's past role as a Supreme Court justice. This made him indispensable in navigating the administration's turbulent 6 years. And of course, the much talked about Royina Garma, role PNP Colonel retired, PCSO General Manager in 2019 retired, and an alleged drug war operative. Royina Garma, a retired PNP Colonel, emerged as a significant figure in Duterte's orbit through her Davao roots and alleged role in his anti-drug campaign. Starting her police career in Davao in 1997 under then Mayor Duterte, she became familiar with the Davao Death Squad, that is the DDS, which was a vigilante group tied to Duterte's local governance. In May 2016, before Duterte's presidency began, he reportedly tasked her with finding a PNP officer to scale the Davao model nationally, which is a system she later described as incentivizing killings over arrests. Garma recommended Edilberto Leonard, facilitating his coordination with Bong Go. Appointed PCSO General Manager in June 2019, just 15 days after retiring from the PNP, her rapid rise suggested Duterte's favor. Her 2024 affidavits to the House Squad Committee detailed a reward system which included 20,000 to 1 million pesos per killing, implicating Duterte as the architect. Garma also faces allegations of directing the 2016 Davao prison killings of 3 Chinese drug lords and the 2020 assassination of PCSO official Wesley Barayuga to cover up corruption. Detained in the United States in November last year after her visa was revoked, possibly due to human rights sanctions, she remains a key witness in Duterte's ICC case following his March 2025 arrest, with murder charges pending in the Philippines. Then there's Jesus Jess Dureza, who was a presidential advisor on the peace process. A seasoned Davao journalist turned politician, Dureza advised Duterte on resolving Mindanao's insurgency between 2016 and 2018. With prior experience under the presidents Ramos, Arroyo and Aquino, he brought expertise to negotiations with communist rebels, that is the NPA, and Muslim separatists like the MILF. His tenure advanced the Bangasmoro Organic Law signed in 2018, creating the Bangasmoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, which is also known as BARMM, which is a cornerstone of Duterte's promise to address Mindanao's unrest. Resigning in 2018 amid internal disputes, Dureza's work reflected Duterte's regional focus, leveraging their shared Davao roots for credibility in peace talks. Moving on, we have Ronald Dela Rosa, who was a PNP chief between 2016 to 2018 and later a senator. A former Davao City Police chief under Duterte, Ronald Dela Rosa became the first PNP chief of Duterte's presidency in July 2016, tasked with executing the war on drugs. His tenure saw campaigns peak with thousands killed in police operations and vigilante actions, earning him both praise from Duterte loyalists and condemnation from human rights groups. Known for his brash demeanor mirroring Duterte's own, Dela Rosa stepped down in 2018 to head the Bureau of Corrections briefly before winning a Senate seat in 2019 with Duterte's endorsement. As of 2025, he faces potential ICC scrutiny alongside Duterte, staunchly defending the drug war's necessity. And of course, the most controversial, Hanyalate Avancina, who is the unofficial aide and partner of Duterte. Duterte's common law partner since the 1990s, Hanyalate Avancina, who's a former nurse and businesswoman, held no official title but exerted informal influence throughout his presidency. Often seen at his side during state visits and public events, she provided personal stability amid his unconventional leadership style. Their daughter, Veronica Kitty Duterte, gained public attention notably during Duterte's 2025 ICC arrest, when Kitty's emotional response underscored the family's row. Their daughter, Veronica Kitty Duterte, gained public attention notably during Duterte's 2025 ICC arrest, when Kitty's emotional response underscored the family's role. Avancina's businesses, like her coffee shops, occasionally intersected with political narratives, but her primary impact was as Duterte's emotional anchor. Vicente Tito Soto III, a Senate president from 2018 to 2022 and an informal advisor. A veteran senator and entertainer, Tito Soto became Senate president in May 2018, aligning with Duterte to advance legislative priorities like the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020 and drug war funding. While not a direct aide, his leadership ensured Senate support for Duterte's agenda, balancing coalition dynamics. Soto's informal advisory role stemmed from their mutual populist appeal, though his influence waned after his 2022 vice presidential loss. And of course, there were other Filipino notable figures. Martin Andanar, who was a PCOO secretary, was a former broadcaster who shaped Duterte's public messaging, defending policies like the drug war and countering media criticism. Similarly, there is Ernesto Abela, who is a presidential spokesperson between 2016 and 2017, a pastor and writer who articulated Duterte's early vision, including the shift to federalism and drug crackdown before resigning amid internal shifts. And a special mention to Salvador Panelo, who was the chief presidential legal counsel between 2016 and 2018 and spokesperson from 2018 to 2020, who was a flamboyant lawyer who provided legal cover for Duterte's action from martial law to drug war justifications and remained a vocal supporter during the 2025 ICC arrest. Duterte's aides formed a tight-knit group, often rooted in his Davao network, blending personal loyalty with administrative or enforcement roles. Royina Garma's inclusion highlights the operational layer, such as executing Duterte's vision while others managed optics or policy. Her shift from ally to whistleblower contrasts with figures like Bong Go and Dela Rosa, who remain steadfast, thus illustrating the complexity of Duterte's inner circle. This group drove Duterte's presidency's defining moments that included the drug war, the Mindanao peace and populist government, and now under global scrutiny with his 2025 ICC arrest. Their detailed roles reveal a mix of trust, pragmatism, and in some cases, alleged complicity that shaped Duterte's legacy.